babes. So we're getting ready for practice today. You'll need 2 blocks and 1 strap, or some pillows and a tie or a towel or a blanket. And as you prepare for your practice, I just want you to come from a space of accountability. So a lot of times we say, like, I had a shitty day. Maybe the day had a shitty you. So let that sink in. Your perspective and your attitude is all about life, right? Like, you get to determine that. So please join me on your mat, ready to have a better you. Okay, we're gonna start in a simple seat. If it's not comfortable to be on the ground, just put a block under your hips. And I want you to begin with 3 shoulder circles one direction, and then 3 shoulder circles the other direction. So we're just beginning a gentle opening, right? Sometimes we come in too hot and we actually don't do a service to our body. Take your arms to a T. Give yourself a big hug. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Just getting into the upper back. And then back to a T. Hug the other way, so other arm on top. Tuck your chin in. Getting an opportunity to ease into our bodies and remove anything that's not for us anymore. Back to a T. Arms come back down by your side. 3 more shoulder circles forward and backward. Come from a place of inquiry. Does it already feel different after one tiny little stretch? Maybe you don't feel shit. I don't know. Let your breath become part of your practice. Inhaling one way, exhaling another, just kind of figuring out what intuitively feels good in your body. And then come into stillness. Feeling your head stacked over your shoulders, shoulders over hips. Be here now. Whoever you were before this practice started, release that version of you. Lift your chin up. So I don't want you to crush the back of your neck. It's more about lengthening the chin up, and the back of the neck just bends. And then bring your chin back to neutral and roll to the right. So your ear is near your shoulder, and then roll back to the center. And then back to the right. So we're not going to the left just yet. If you did, that's fine. We're just taking some deep neck rolls here. And then as you're ready, extend your left arm out, right? It was probably just resting in your thigh. And take your right hand and just add a little weight. So you're not pulling your head away from your shoulder, but you're just adding a little weight, right? The pressure of your hand. Come back to center, chin to chest, roll through the left. And coming back to center, back to the left. Really becoming aware, right? Like, where do you feel the tension? Do you feel tension? And again, it's just a conversation with ourselves. I say this all the time. We're just asking our bodies, like, what do you need right now? And coming to the left, bringing your left arm up and over, gently pulling. Your right arm is extended out. And based on how flexible you are, some people can even put like their palm on the ground. And if so, congratulations, because that's magical. and release. Drop your chin towards your chest and then back up to center. So just a couple of forward and center. Come on to your feet, grab your block, put it between your knees, between your thighs, in that area. Grab your strap as well. I'll face you so you can see what I'm talking about. Take your arms fairly wide and keeping the block so that way you have integrity in your feet. You're going to begin some shoulder circles with your strap. Working really hard to not let the shoulders lift up or the elbows bend. Right? This is an ongoing practice. Noticing what can the shoulders and chest do today. And if you find somewhere that's kind of sticky, just thread it through. Maybe you twist side to side or kind of bounce up and down, very little baby micro bounces. Just a couple more here. And then really lean to one side. And back to center. Lean to the other side. Come back up to center. One more time, threading the arms. Okay, like 2 or 3 more times, let's be honest, it feels really good. It's one of those like hurts so good kind of things. Keep the block between your legs and just forward fold. I turned around so you could see the forward fold. So you might feel the block on your belly. That's cool, it's fine. Taking ragdoll arms here, maybe you sway side to side. Rocking forward and backward. Always soft bend in the knee. Halfway lift. And then fold. So it's almost like you're doing a cat-cow, but with the block and standing. So you're going to bend your knees, curl your spine, and then straighten the knees and cow the spine. One more time, taking a cat variation. Inhale, cow. Taking your cat and a cow. Apparently I did not do 3, I just did whatever I wanted. Inhale, rise up to standing. Remove your block, put it on the floor. Right foot steps on the block. And just kind of kick your foot. So I learned this from a teacher in Houston. And it's just a nice way to relax the hip. You're also working the ankle, so the right ankle might be really wobbly, especially based on how sturdy your block is. And then come to stillness, bend the knee. So you're balancing on your right. Try to close your eyes. You can see that when I closed my eyes, I totally fell off the block. And then when you're ready, switch sides. Balancing on the left, swinging your right. And then just like we did on the other side, slow your pendulum, bring your knee into your chest, and then try to close your eyes. We all know that alcohol and allergies affect balance. So if you're part of my wine crew, it's going to be hard. All right, remove the block, downward facing dog. Take the time in your downward facing dog to pedal out, paw out, work on your breath. If you're going to do it though, like really do it. So you're going to roll through your feet, right? And then walk your hands back to your feet. halfway lift, ragdoll. Take the time here to sway back and forth, side to side, and figure out where the integrity is in the balance in your feet. You want roughly 70 to 80% more in the ball of your feet. Bend your knees, lift your torso, chair pose. Forward fold. From your halfway lift, walk out to a high push-up. So this practice today, we're not really going to vinyasa per se, like up dog, down dog, all of that. We're going to hold the high push-up. Drop onto your knees. Inhale, right leg up. Bring your knee into your chest, extend back out. Now lift your left arm up. Knee to elbow, and back up. Knee to elbow, and up. You'll take that 2 more times with your breath guiding you. And then you'll pause, extend it out, just taking a moment of balance. And then I want you, when you're ready, you're gonna drop your right foot extended and then pop up, 3-legged dog, left leg flies in the air. Nice. Bring your knee in to tap your left elbow, and then back up. And then left knee to right elbow, and up. And then pausing in your downward facing dog, walking your hands to your feet for a ragdoll forward fold. Start with your half lift, right, and then hinge forward. Letting the weight of your head hang heavy. Halfway lift. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Stay in your breath. Forward fold. Walking back to your high push-up. Pause here. Stay for 2 complete cycles of breath, and then you'll drop into your tabletop. So pretty much for the whole practice today, my intent is the plank situation. Inhale, left leg up, right, bring your knee in, and then do right hand, knee to elbow. Hopefully you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, because I do not always. You'll just keep doing that with your breath. I think we did 5 on the other side, so you'll do the same thing here. Pause at the end. And then same thing as the other side. You'll leave your left leg extended, tuck your toes, and then pop up into 3-legged dog. Your right leg will fly behind you. Yes. Right knee to right elbow, and up. Right knee to left elbow, and up. Downward facing dog. And really, guys, like, you can't mess it up. It's yoga. So just come from a space of you'll get what you need. Pausing in your down dog, do a check on your breath before you step or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, forward fold. Rise up to Tadasana, arms overhead. Exhale, right back down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right leg back for a low crescent lunge. Open, well, you're actually going to a closed twist. Right hand forward, left hand back. So your left knee is forward. Come back up. I took an arm circle, but you don't have to. High push up. Down dog. Step your feet to your hands, halfway lift. Forward fold. Inhale to Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. This time your left leg comes back. Low lunge, right knee forward. Inhale, lift your chest. Taking a twist, left hand forward, right hand back. Inhale, back to center. Hands come to the ground. Pause in your high plank. And if you need to do this on your knees, then that's your high plank. Down dog. Make your feet to your hands. Make them, take them, whatever. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Inhale, rise up to Tadasana. Exhale, bow down. Halfway lift. Step your right leg back, low lunge. Inhale, torso up. Exhale, taking a twist. Right hand back, left hand forward. Inhale, back to center. High plank. 2 cycles of breath. Down dog. Feet to hands, halfway lift, forward fold. Inhale, Tadasana. Exhale, bow down. Halfway lift. Stepping back, opposite leg. Inhale, torso up. Taking a twist, left hand forward, right hand back. So the twist is coming from the ribs. Inhale up. Back to high plank. Pause here. 2 cycles of breath. Downward facing dog. Right, so obviously I'm going with my breath in the video, which is fast. So we're getting some fire, some heat. Grab your block, put it between your thighs. We're gonna up that heat for a moment. Get your feet to your hands without dropping your block. Took me a couple of bounces, and then you're gonna halfway lift and fold forward. Inhale, rise up to Tadasana, block between your thighs. Exhale, forward fold, back down. Halfway lift, make it to high push-up. Keep the block between your thighs. Pause here. 2 cycles of breath, downward facing dog, and then remove your block. Take your feet to your hands. Notice how different it is without the block. Halfway lift, fold. Inhale, rise up. Hands to heart center. Right leg up. Take a twist. Left arm forward, right arm back. So we just did this on the ground. Now we're doing it standing. Launch back to crescent lunge. Your right leg is behind you, crescent lunge. Sorry if that was unclear. Warrior 2, left leg forward. Reverse your warrior. You can hear Ellie Belly shaking in the background. Come into half moon. So grab your block, stack your hips, and then you're gonna land gently in star pose. So your toes are facing the outer edges of your mat, hands come up overhead, sink down into a yogi squat or that's a goddess squat. That is not a yogi squat. My bad, humans. Press your palms together, elbows out wide, and then tilt right elbow to right knee. Up, left side. Up, right side. Maybe you touch your knee, maybe you don't. Work on pulling the pit of the belly up and in, so you're not like just dumping behind you to get that connection. Inhale, back up into your star. Wide-legged forward fold. Turn your toes in so they're not pointing to the corners anymore, right? They're pointing to the flat edge of your mat. And then take any variation of wide-legged forward fold here that you would like. I'm working personally on lining my fingertips up with my toes, but still keeping the weight of my body in the balls of my feet. Make your way to easy twist at the top of your mat. So left knee bent, left arm to the sky. Stay in your breath. And then you're gonna come onto the blade edges of your feet and drop your hip down. And then pop back up. Drop your hip down, lower your arm, pop back up. So you're going from the blade edge of your foot to the flat part of your foot. And up, downward facing dog. So just like we started the other side, grab your block, put it between your thighs. Figure out how to get your feet to your hands without dropping your block. Halfway lift, forward fold. Rise up mountain, arms overhead. Exhale, bow forward. Halfway lift, jump back, don't drop your block. Figure that out. Pause for 2 cycles of breath before lifting your hips to down dog and removing the block. Feet to hands, halfway lift, bow forward, inhale, up. Bring your left knee up, taking a twist here. Left arm back, right arm forward. So it's like dancing Shiva, but your knee is bent. Inhale back to center, land in crescent lunge. Good breath, open to warrior 2. So your right leg is now bent. Reverse warrior. Make your way to half moon. I'm noticing that I am a terrible online teacher for first-time yogis because I'm not very descriptive. I like to get to the point. My personal work here. Landing in star pose. Yogi squat. So you're going to just goddess it on down. Take your hands to your knees and take some shoulder dips. I don't know why I keep calling goddess yogi squat. It is not. Yogi squat is malasana. So just roll with me here, y'all. Apparently it's rough. It just really sucks that my rough practices are recorded into perpetuity. Anyways, nobody cares. All right, coming back up, star pose. Wide-legged forward fold. Maybe you begin to play here with taking your hands like 6 inches out and then coming onto the toes, right? Conditioning the shoulders and the abdomen to prepare to maybe one day just press up into a handstand from here. And then I also know that my voice is so loud that on my recorder, it's like always in the red. I'm sorry, y'all. Coming to an easy twist. Left arm up, right knee bent. We're going to take those same dips. So coming onto the side edges of your feet, dropping your hip, and then back up. And let your arm kind of fan overhead. Nice. Downward facing dog. Keeping the fire, jump through boat pose. Landing on your tailbone, knees bent or straight, hands on your thighs, hands on the floor, hands on the side. Like whatever you can rock out in this moment, bring it. And then come back over, downward facing dog. See, I didn't even make you hold it very long. You're welcome. Inhale, right leg up. Step through, crescent lunge. Warrior 3. This is airplane pose. You figure out the hand variation that works in your body. Inhale, back up, left knee lifts. Take your twist. This time, grab your knee to deepen the twist. So right arm back, you're looking over your right fingers. Inhale, back to center. You're gonna land, warrior 2, reverse your warrior. Half moon. Launching forward, right? This is a very fluid practice today. If you want to try to take candy cane where you bend your knee and grab your foot, go for it. I'm working on just bending my foot back because I can totally grab my foot and make it go back. That's not the goal. Star pose. Goddess squat. So working on the balance between strength and flexibility. Star pose. Wide-legged forward fold. Sthira Sukha, right? Like 2 sides of the same hand. So sometimes we're super flexible and we can get into a pose with the help of our hand. But can you do it without your hand? Take any variation here. I'm doing some side twists because my upper back and ribs can always use the rotation. Maybe you just hang. That's the goal of our practice, right? Is to be equal parts active and inactive, equal parts strong and flexible. The goal of life. Anyways, Skandasana to the back of the mat. So this is like your ninja pose. You're gonna bend your knee, try to keep your heel on the ground, twist your opposite foot towards the ceiling, leg is straight. And then just kind of ninja crawl side to side. So you'll keep your hands on the ground as you go from one side to the other side. Move really intentionally here, because this is a really great way to like overstretch your knee and pop it out of socket or something terrible. So that's why I'm cool with your hands on the ground when we're fluid like this. Maybe you don't bend all the way down. Maybe you do this standing. Easy twist. Right hand up, left hand down. Coming to side plank, Vashisthasana. High push-up. 2 cycles of breath, and then we'll meet in our downward facing dog. Maybe I should do like a write-up for the blog about Sthira Sukha. Y'all are giving me things to think about. Anyhow, drop onto your knees, grab your blocks, take a puppy pose or melting heart pose with your triceps on the block. Drop your heart through. You're gonna bend your elbows so your palms meet at the base of your head. Just allow deep opening in your chest here. I know we have the other side to do. I have not forgotten. I do many times, but this time I have not. Coming back to the premise at the beginning of class, right? Like, how many times does a day have a shitty you? How many times do you just decide over and over to be upset? Gently walk your blocks out. Coming to your downward facing dog. Move real slow. Inhale, left leg up, step forward, crescent lunge. We have a rough idea of where we're going. Launch into airplane pose or warrior 3. Come up, standing knee raise. Take your twist. Left hand to your right knee, right hand behind you. Drishti, eyes, look behind you. One more breath. Come back to center, moving intentionally. Land. Warrior 2. Reverse warrior. I am sweating. Launching into your half moon. Take a block with you, maybe not. Try it on for size. Bend your knee. Maybe you grab your foot, maybe not. Stay for a breath. And then you'll land in your star pose. Goddess squat. Take a variation here. Maybe you take your arms to a T and just hold them. Try to get your hips in line with your knees. Pull your knees behind you. Star pose. Wide-legged forward fold. This is your final wide-legged fold of practice. So maybe you try an inversion here. I'm really working on not letting momentum be what gets me into my headstand. So I'm trying to really go super micro slow. But you figure out what's gonna feel good for you. What is your goal? So you'll see here, like I make it into tripod, and then when I start moving really slowly, my muscles like, they can't do it. Whereas if I would have just shot my legs up, I could have held it. But that's not my current goal. Whenever you're ready, make your way down, Skandasana. So you're gonna start at the back of your mat, right knee bent, left leg straight. And then as you're ready, you'll just spider monkey from side to side. Hands on the ground to help you. We'll do one of each and then take your twist. Easy twist, right? Just like we did last time. And when you feel stable in that, side plank. Vashisthasana, stack your feet or drop your bottom knee. High plank, 2 breaths. Downward facing dog. Shorten your dog like 6 inches, so bring your feet closer to your hands. Take your right hand to your left ankle, shin, knee, and twist. So you're gonna try to look under that left armpit. And then you'll come to center and you'll do the other side. Nice spine rotation here. Come back to center, drop onto your knees, and let's wash that out with a cat-cow. Cow, cat. You know what I'm saying. Do a couple of those. Let your breath guide you. Allow your breath to guide you through a couple more cycles of your cow, cat. And then I want you to, well, you still have a couple more. I'm just prepping you for what's coming. You're gonna lift your right leg, bend the knee, take your left arm, and grab your ankle if you can. If not, you just grab the top of your foot. Work on keeping your hips square, so sometimes we kind of bend in, and then release. Cat-cow to wash that out. One more. Inhale, left leg up, right arm reaches around, grabbing the ankle or the toes, stretching across the chest. Stay in your breath, you've got it. And then release. Another cat-cow to wash that out. As you're ready, you're gonna come to Sphinx pose. So you're gonna just walk your toes further out until your hips are on the ground. Drag your elbows under your shoulders into a number 11 on the ground. And then you'll tap your forehead to the ground. Take your hands 6 inches to the outside of your shoulders, tense your fingertips, inhale, lift your torso. And then exhale, dip your shoulder down, look over the opposite shoulder. And then you'll inhale back to center, exhale, dip the other way. Take 2 more rounds each side with your breath guiding you. The first couple of times we do this on my body, it's always so stuck. Make your way back to your Sphinx pose. Once you have your elbows lined up under your shoulders, pop up into dolphin. So it's downward dog body, but on the elbows. So Sphinx elbows, and then drop down. All fours. Inhale, right arm up to the side of the wall, right? Side stretch, and then thread the needle through. You're keeping your tailbone high in this stretch. Allow your left hand to help press and create an opening in your back. And then back up. Inhale, left arm up, rotating your chest to the left, and then thread through under the right. Same thing, opposite side. Your right hand is pressing to help create opening in the left side. Back up, tabletop. We're gonna make our ways onto our belly, but grab your strap before you do. You'll just lay flat for a moment, and then windshield wiper your knees, side to side. We're going to take locust pose with the strap in our arms, taking some like rainbow movements from our back to the ground overhead. So the strap is in both hands. You'll inhale, lift your feet, Take the strap up and over. Exhale, drop down. Inhale the opposite. The strap comes overhead now, and your legs come up. A couple of breaths of that. It can feel kind of awkward, right? That's not normally how we do this pose. So just kind of figure out your rhythm, what your body's open to at this point in time. And then release, bend your knees, windshield wiper your legs again, side to side. We're going to take floor bow, and if you cannot easily grab your ankles, as in if you have to move your knees in any direction, I just want you to lift your torso with your arms behind you, flex your feet, and reach. So we're not going to contort ourselves to force the pose. This is going back to that Sthira Sukha concept of equal parts strength and flexibility. So play with it once, maybe twice, and then release and windshield wiper your legs. We're moving into the cooling phase of our practice now. Taking a couple of breaths in your belly savasana, wiggling anything you need to. We're going to come to half frog on the left. So you're just going to bend your knee up towards your rib cage. You're laying down, you're on your belly. Some people call this sleeping pose. And you're just gonna hang out here. Left knee bent, both hips anchored to the floor. I prefer my arms in a cactus in this pose. And if this is just really intense, negotiate with a block or a pillow. Just allow there to be release. I feel like Karens are a thing right now, right? And every time I see a Karen, my first thought is, in her world, she is not heard. And that is why she is so loud in the worlds of others. Make your way back to center. Kind of rock your hips. And then take the right side. So this idea of Karens are in so much hurt and pain that they are creating the shitty days of others. And to me, it's like an opportunity to be cognizant. Come back to center. We're going to take full frog, or you can stay in your half frog. This is up to you. Full frog, I'm turning to the other way so I can fold my mat to support my knees. Long-term goal, your knees are parallel with your hips. You can always put a block under your belly here. Take the time to negotiate with your body. What does it need right now? Not what was it capable of last week, or where do you hope it's going tomorrow? When we address our needs in the present moment, by default, we get where we're intending to go. So when we address how we are showing up in our day, by default, we end up going forward into a life of joy. Each day, each moment, when we choose to show up either with a good attitude or a bad attitude, strings together to the next moment, the next hour, the next day, and eventually becomes the story of our life. And I'm not saying we're not entitled to have bad days or to experience the emotions that we sometimes deem as negative. But I am posing the question of how often are you the reason you're having a bad day? And then on top of that, how often are you the reason others are having a bad day? And these are not questions of judgment on my part to you, and they're certainly not opportunities for you to beat yourself up for not being a perfect human. The work here is to stay present. So because you're practicing at home, when we hold a pose for a long time, it can seem like the best time to just maybe pop up and get a sip of tea, or run switch the laundry real quick and then you'll make it back in time for Savasana, right? And we're all guilty of trying to maximize our time. But if you stay in this moment, in this practice, you will be rejuvenated and restored so that you have the energy and the bandwidth to do everything else that you need to do. And sometimes it can be really hard to trust the process. Gently begin to make your way out of the pose. You can either pull your chest forward, coming to lay flat on your belly, or just pull your knees close together behind you. Moving really gently, coming onto your back. Take your block with you. And we're going to take restorative bridge. Right, so in our frog pose, our hips are, the inner thighs, are being really opened. Now we just want to come back to our bridge and bring everything back into alignment and integrity. And don't feel like you have to crank your back up to the highest level, right? I like to stick at the middle level. Maybe you want the lowest level. Maybe you don't need the block at all. Maybe just coming into feet flat, knees to the ceiling is all you need. And let your breath settle your body. We're going to move into a stretch here in a moment that really puts some pressure on the low back and helps kind of relax the sacrum area, the sciatic nerve. It can be a little intense, so you just watch yourself. You're just going to pick your legs up to 90 degrees and don't move the block. You're going to feel the edge of the block kind of pushing into your low back. And then I want you to just very little baby pendulum your knees side to side. So your feet are flying off the ground, your low back is still on the block, and you're just taking these micro kind of twists on the low back. Maybe you stay on one side a little bit longer, maybe not. And then when you're ready, you'll just put your feet back on the ground, pick up your hips, remove your block, and come into Supta Baddha Konasana. You have a few breaths, right? Nothing is permanent. You can choose to keep doing this. The first time I did it, I felt like I needed to do it for an hour to break up those knots in that fascia. We'll take 3 more deep breaths in your Supta Baddha Konasana, in your laying down butterfly. And then you can choose to end your practice in this pose or extend out for Savasana. Either way, when you're ready for your final pose, I want you to inhale as much as you can, and then inhale a sip more, and then exhale out. And let go of everything that has happened before this moment. Every thought, every emotion, every action. And just be here now. Begin to bring awareness back into your body, making your way to a fetal position on either side. The right side for activity, the left side for peace. Keeping your breath intentional. With your eyes closed, make your way up to a simple seat. We're going to begin practice how we began, with some neck attention. Drop your chin to your chest, and then roll your head to the right and back to the center, and then to the left and to the center. Back to the right, take your hand, gently apply pressure. So you're stretching the left side of the neck, and then roll to the other side. Same thing, left hand pulls, creating pressure on the right side. Coming back to the center. Inhale back up, chin level with floor. Inhale, arms overhead, hands to heart center. Thank you for choosing to vibe higher. Namaste. Yogis, it is always my honor to share my love of yoga with you. Have a good one.